Frack on, everyone. Welcome to the episode of Frack the Canon. This time, we're talking about something that I feel is pretty big. And CJ brought it up. That I like one I want to talk about too. Was in Falcon and the Winter Soldier, they bring in Isaiah Bradley, and that is for those who don't know, not in the know, the Black Captain America. And I'm like, I can't believe they went there with that character. And that's something we want to talk about that character. So CJ, this is your idea. Do you want to start us off?
Sure. All right. So freaking yeah. No, I think it's crazy that like they brought in like the Isaiah Bradley character, um, because it's like in the comics it was Truth, Red, White, and Black,
Yep.
and Isaiah Bradley. They when they're trying to perfect the super soldier serum, they're experimenting on black soldiers. Isaiah Bradley, I think he's like the closest to like the serum that they gave to Rogers.
Right. Yep.
The closest to like the prototype serum or whatever. But then obviously this all gets covered up. And just the idea of them bringing this into Falcon and the Winter Soldier is kind of nuts, like because it's well Disney number one, you know what I mean, like, but two, like it's just this is just a crazy side of the Marvel universe
Yeah.
see, you know what I mean, like like just because of what we've seen so far. And I think it's interesting like how um these shows that we've gotten, with WandaVision before this and now this, there's like there's space that we didn't think about that's left in the Marvel universe. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
There's like 20 movies in, and we're like, oh no, they pretty much covered a lot of ground. You know what I mean? Like, but there's still space in between the stories that they've told to tell more stories, which they're showing us now. You know what I mean? WandaVision, it's like here, no, there was space between the crap that we told you in Age of Ultron. You know what I mean? Like there was space to fill in there, like freaking, and that, you know, we filled that space there. It's like, oh crap, I didn't know there was space to tell more of that story. You know what I mean? And now there's something that doesn't contradict what we were told, like that actually enriches what we were told. And I think we're kind of getting the same thing here with Falcon and Winter Soldier, but this time in the case of like more cap lore,
Mm-hmm.
and Shield lore and Hydra lore, um, which is cool. You know what I mean? And just to round that idea out, and I think it's interesting because it makes me feel like one of two ways, and I feel until the show is over, because there's a lot of racial elements brought up in this series, things that were jarring to me that I didn't really think they were going to lean into, but they have been. But it's like we won't know until the end of the series if this really like will mean something, or if it's just kind of like doesn't mean anything. You know what I mean? Like, is this just frosting to make the show seem more edgy, or is this going to tie into something later, and then it'll be something? Then it can be something powerful. You know what I mean? Depending on how well it's executed. But you know, they're walking this fine line between like heavy-handed and like poignant. You know?
Very much so. So I want to talk about that because they did something that I never thought they would do in a Disney show. I mean, the closest they've ever gone to that, I would say, Remember the Titans. But this one where they have so in the comics, they test on a bunch of other black men, something akin to the Tuskegee experiments, and they reference that too in the comic. I'm like, I can't believe you guys did that. I can't believe you guys mentioned that. And then they pretty much all the black soldiers who get experimented who survived, cause they test a bunch of men. A lot of them died except for five who get horribly mutated. Except for Isaiah Bradley, is kind of the one who kind of stays the most human looking, and he's the one that they send them to Black Ops to save, like to because Captain America's not doing like the stuff, like the mainstream, like the by the book stuff, the legit stuff, and Isaiah's doing like the Black Ops stuff, and he's not acknowledged. He's never referenced at all till like in 2003 when it came out. I'm like, you guys are like, are they gonna go that deep? Because if you're gonna go that, if you're gonna bring them up, I want to see that, which I don't think they are. Like you said, and we were talking about it too. Was that you were saying that you think Sam meeting Messiah is gonna help him take the shield back from U.S. agent for him to become Captain America, to be like There was the Black Captain America before. But he will never recognize. I'm gonna be the recognized the Black Captain America. Like he'd be the second Black Captain America, pretty much.
Right.
Right. I liked it at the same time, but here, going back to the heavy-handed thing in that show, I felt weird that it was followed up by him being pulled over by the cops. I'm like, this is really like, I don't know how I feel about this. Like, I just had that scene with Isaiah Bradley, now have this scene. It's almost heavy-handed. It's almost too heavy-handed. You know what I mean? Like, I get it.
But it's like almost, but it's like at the same time, like what we've been saying, it's like they are walking that fine line, because it's like there are elements of it, like as I'm looking at it, like it doesn't seem unrealistic to me to either. Like, yep. So it's like, is it heavy-handed because we just got that? Is that too much? But at the same time, it's like the way that scene played out was so interesting, the way it played out, you know what I mean? Right. Because it's like, okay, here's a because we just got that scene before, it's like here's a taste of like this deep-rooted systemic racism that was rooted back in the past, and that's what that looked like, you know what I mean? Like now, flash forward to the future, here's like a sample of what it kind of like. It's still an example of that systemic racism, but it's a present day sort of, you know what I mean? And this is what this looks like today, kind of a thing. And it was like, this is how it affects Sam, but then at the same time, then it got flipped. You know what I mean? Because it's like I feel the same way what you say about that, but it's also executed so well too.
Yeah.
Because there's so many levels of things going on. Because one thing I think about during that scene too is like, it's really subtle, but it's Sam's reaction, not to the cop, but to when Bucky says,
"Look, is this guy bothering you?"
No, he's not bothering me. Do you know who this is?
Oh God, I'm so.
When Bucky says, "Do you know who he is?"
Yeah, that was.
And the cop is like, "Oh, I'm so sorry." You know, Sam's reaction to him saying, "Do you know who he is?" Because his reaction is like, "You shouldn't have had to say that."
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? Like, you shouldn't have had to say. You know what I mean? It shouldn't matter that I'm the Falcon. You know what I mean? Just the fact that these dudes is hassling me right now. And it's just like the levels of that. You know what I mean? It's just like, oh man, like it argues itself too. You know what I mean? Even if it is a little heavy, it argues for itself as well.
Exactly. Because it's happened with Black Lives Matter and George Floyd. It's happened a lot. I remember Dave Chappelle saying the same thing. Oh, well, you Dave Chappelle. I'm sorry. He goes like Dave Chappelle said, it shouldn't matter, dude. Like you should still treat anyone. Like it was a little bit like we said last episode, the Godzilla versus Kong episode. It was too real.
Right. And then okay, so then you get it real. You get your moments where it's too real, right? And then you balance that with this past week's episode, and you got Zemo freaking busting a jig in the freaking dance party. You know what I mean? And it's like
that show is insane. I'm like what the frick is happening on this? What?
Exactly. Like it's like, okay, like what, dude? Like this just turned into basically Lethal Weapon 4, like with like Joe Pesci moving around, you know what I mean? Like and now like freaking I don't know.
Oh, I know, it was just like, oh my god. But so yeah, it's I feel I like that they brought him in. I like that they set it up. I hope they go with it somewhere. The one thing I'm excited about is that they're showing is Eli Bradley, which is Patriot. I'm like, they've already set up as Guardian and Speed in WandaVision. They've referenced Stature in Ant-Man, and they recast that character too.
Mm-hmm.
And now they bring him like, dude, are they setting up the Young Avengers? Because Kate Bishop's getting her own show.
Right, like, so it's like they're all at least here in some level.
Yeah.
We got Kang coming soon, you know what I mean?
So allegedly, I hope it's true. Allegedly.
Well, no, I mean the actor.
The
actor. He's cast in Ant-Man.
Yeah, but that confirmed that he's playing Kang though.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know. I thought it was still a rumor though. I thought it wasn't confirmed that he was playing. Okay, cool.
No, he is actually playing Kang, and now I mean, I don't know if he's like the villain or you know what I mean, whatever. He's in Ant-Man 3.
That would be cool because then Iron Lad is also it's Kang in the future, so that'd be cool if they do that. I hope they do that. I hope they recast. They make Iron Lad a black guy. That'd be kind of cool.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Anything else you want to talk about? Falcon the Winter Soldier and Isaiah Bradley. Anything you want to, or did we cover it all?
I mean, we pretty much, yeah. I mean, just as far as Isaiah Bradley and them touching that story and like them going there, and it remains to be seen. Like, you know, one of the things, like you were saying, you don't think we're gonna get a flashback. I can't say that I think we are, but it is one of my hopes. I do hope that we get some kind of flashback to something going on with Isaiah Bradley and some of that stuff back in the day, Super Soldier. That would flip my lid if we got some of that. That would fill the cup if we got some of that before the series is over for me.
I would love that. I would love that. But at the end of the day, it is Falcon and Winter Soldier story. I don't think we're gonna get it.
It's true.
I want to. Like, I do want to see that story though, but I want to be given its proper due that it deserves. You know.
So this is a little off topic to what this little bite episode is about, but I just do you think that by the end of this, Bucky's going to adopt the White Wolf moniker?
I don't think so. It'd be cool, but I don't think so.
Do you think because this is like, it seems to be like a story about evolution so far, of characters' evolution. Like this might be Falcon's evolution into Captain America, but Winter Soldier isn't a thing that Bucky's proud of, you know what I mean? Like,
no.
And he does seem to through a bit of an evolution of his own. Like, I don't think, part of me doesn't think he's going to come out of this on the other side with the Winter Soldier moniker, you know what I mean? But then that leaves, what does he become then?
That's why you're the better writer than I am. You know what? You're right. I think, yeah. Okay, you've convinced me. Yes. I want to, but because I think also he goes, also the flip side, he could also be like, no, I'm going to be the Winter Soldier, but I want to be the Winter Soldier of good. I'm gonna be fine. I may be in the set of the angels, but I'm not an angel.
I feel you. No, hey, all right, hey, counterpoint. All right, good counterpoint too. Because that'd be cool. That'd be like he's like, you know, I am the Winter Soldier. Like, you know what I mean? Like, all of it's good, all of it's bad, kind of a thing.
Exactly. Alrighty. Well, thank you for joining us. Thank you for watching. We'll see you same fracking time, same fracking channel. Do not forget to like and subscribe, please. That's our reminder. Alrighty, Frack off.